plain-toe blucher. What you're looking at in front of you here are the two versions of the plain-toe blucher that I currently own. On the left is the Edmonds Leeds. They make those on the number 1 last. And this particular pair of shoes is probably about 2 years old, or maybe slightly over 2 years old. It was finished in the old style Edmonds burgundy shell cordovan, and what I mean by that is it is basically just the standard color that the leather came from Horween as, and they didn't do any additional dyeing or finishing at the factory at Edmonds. Currently, if you were to buy these, they'd be a darker shade of burgundy, more similar to what Alden does. And this is obviously an Alden saddle shoe. So it'd be a closer shade to this if you were to get that currently. 5 eyelets going up each side. Edmonds does a nice job with these and the McNeils, with a lot of structure and a lot of support on the inside of the shoe. You can see the extra lining and the extra support for the inside of your foot there. The arch, that's the word I was searching for. You can see these particular shoes have double oak J. Rendenbach soles, very thick, dense leather. That's considered to be the best manufacturer of soles that are out there. They also have the split reverse, or as it's sometimes called, a storm welt. That's the section that kind of comes up onto the upper here. And notice that this style of plain-toe blucher has a single piece of leather that goes around the entire shoe, and then it's sewn in the back, and then the eye stays are kind of sewn onto the top of that one piece of cordovan leather. I'll compare that with a Dover style plain-toe blucher, which is what these are. I don't know how it got its name Dover style, but basically what Crockett and Jones does, and a variety of other manufacturers do as well, is for their plain-toe bluchers, it's actually made out of 2 pieces of leather. You have one piece that is the fore or front part of the shoe, and then you have a separate piece that comes around the back, and the eye stays are actually part of that rear piece of leather. So that's a Dover style plain-toe blucher. This particular pair is a Crockett and Jones for Ralph Lauren. It has exposed eyelets, still a double oak sole, although they don't use the Rendenbach leather as far as I know. Still has the storm welt, or the split reverse welt. And it's obviously a different maker, so it's on a different last. So this is on Crockett & Jones's 325 last. And in just a second I'll show you a comparison of the various manufacturers' lasts. But this is a really nice pair of shoes. They, although they don't have necessarily all the structure in the arch of the shoe that Edmonds puts in, I'm not sure that I would call these unsupportive by any stretch. They have a nice supportive feel. And actually, as far as the various manufacturers, the structure that's in the toe and the structure that's in the heel of these shoes are probably the strongest out of the 3 major manufacturers that create shell cordovan shoes, those being Crockett & Jones, Edmonds, and then Alden. So as far as a comparison, let me just move things around here for a second. So I don't have an Alden plain-toe blucher, but I do have an Alden saddle shoe, which is right here. And so just for sake of comparison, let's take a look at how the 3 major manufacturers compare regarding their lasts. So the Alden saddle shoe on the left is actually on the Berry last, which is the same last they make their plain-toe bluchers on. As I mentioned earlier, the Edmonds is on the number 1 last, and the Crockett & Jones is on their 325 last. So you can sort of get a feel for how the lasts compare. the Berry Last and the number 1 Last are very similar. And then the 325 Last is, I would call it a little bit sleeker probably. Not quite as wide as you go through the toe area on the outside. And then it comes down to a little bit pointier toe. I mentioned earlier, these are saddle shoes, obviously not plain toe bluchers. Alden's plain toe blucher is going to be made very similarly to Allen Edmonds. So the eye stays are sewn on the top. It has a full 360-degree welt rather than just the 270 that you see here. And it also, the Alden plain toe blucher does have the split reverse welt as well. You can also, while I've got all these three here, you can sort of see the difference in the colors. So you can sort of see the overdye that Alden puts on the Horween shell cordovan to create that purplish or eggplant type color. All three of these manufacturers also use shell cordovan from the same factory, and that's Horween out of Chicago. So anyway, hopefully this was helpful. Also, one last note, if you are interested in getting a plain toe blucher, you might want to also check out Brooks Brothers, because Alden makes a specific model of their plain toe blucher for Brooks Brothers, and that actually includes exposed eyelets, much like the Ralph Lauren model does. If you're looking to buy these, I think you can order the Allen Edmonds online anytime. They pretty much always have them in stock. You can get them in black or burgundy, or you can special order them in the brown, much like these. If you're looking for the Ralph Lauren, you might have a little bit more difficulty. They don't show up online at all. So what you may have to do is either go into one of their flagship stores or call. And that's actually what I did. I just called one of their flagship stores and asked if they could pull a pair for me and ship it to me, and that's what they did. These Ralph Laurens are almost 4 years old. Or I should say Crockett & Jones. I mean, Ralph Lauren really just bought the rights to sell them, but they're made by Crockett & Jones for them. So anyway, I think that's kind of all that there is to say on this topic. Hopefully you found this video informative, and if you have any specific questions, please let me know. Thanks.